Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships and Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight, continuing our British Never Surrender Week, we are in the Edinburgh and we're going to be in for a battle, folks. I ain't gonna lie. This one's coming down to the wire. So hopefully you guys are ready. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Now, I'm not a particular fan of the Edinburgh and I'll tell you why. The Edinburgh, while it is tanky and has good torpedoes, it can only shoot AP. While it is good AP, it's still just AP. And it's low caliber AP at that, because it's a light cruiser. So, the issue that I have with it is, anytime you're up against an armored opponent that knows more than, how to... Never mind, I'll leave that where it is. But knows what they're doing, they'll bow tank you, and then you can shoot their superstructure a few times, but as soon as the superstructure goes saturated, you're going to be hitting them for basically nothing. We'll showcase that later in the video, and we'll also showcase a couple of the mistakes that I make late in this game as well. But I usually do pretty well in the Edinburgh, usually 60 to 80,000 damage, 2-3 kills. It's a very good utility ship, and that just pretty much summarizes all of the British ships, to be honest. Like, they're very utilitarian. They're not amazing at any one thing, but they can do pretty much everything and be okay doing it. And that's one of the good things about the British, is that they're just good at everything. They're not necessarily amazing at anything, but they are good at literally everything. But we're going to push out to the right side initially. You guys know I'm a big proponent of the win your side, so I don't like to allow people to flank me. A lot of people get on me for coming out here to A like this, no matter what ship I'm in, but I just don't like to give up a flank. You know what I'm saying? If I push up and try to cover mid, then people can come around the island and shoot me in the butt, like Forrest Gump. By the way, well done, guys. Once again, you guys are on point. Now, I know that you guys can just Google search things. I hope you're not. I hope you're using your knowledge, because knowledge is power. You guys are cultured folks. I know this because you guys tend to put a like down there on the video, because you guys are awesome. And, over half of you guys are subscribed, so maybe the other half would like to subscribe too. While we're waiting to get into the action, I appreciate you guys. I really do. We're closing in on 30,000 subscribers already. My goal again for this year is to hit 40K by the end of the year. I think we can do it. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but I think we can do this. Now, Bismarck comes out broadside on, and this is exactly what I was telling you guys about. Like, I just don't like to give up a flank, and this Bismarck just proves that people like to come out here on this side. So I don't want to give them the opportunity to have good crossfires on my team. And so we're going to show just how nasty, and this is the one downside of this ship that I'm not particularly a fan of, and that is the torpedo angles are just almost Japanese-esque. Like, they're not good at firing at people that you are bow tanking. Which is a shame, because I would like to bow tank this guy and shoot torpedoes at a decent angle, but you just don't quite have the angle to shoot him. But now that we're getting, we've got our smoke screen up, he's not able to detect us. He's too far outside of his sonar range. So we're just going to farm him for damage. If he's going to stay broadside, this ship can and will chunk you. Battleships, cruisers, doesn't matter. Cruisers, if you go broadside to this thing, you're dead. Just like giving up broadside to a Balti. Of course, Balti can do it from even better angles. But this thing, if you give up the side of your ship, this thing will absolutely wreck you very, very quickly. We've already got 30,000 damage off this Bismarck. That ain't too shabby if you ask me. But he's going behind the island. We can't really shoot him anymore. So, Odin, it's your turn. And so we're going to force this Odin out as well. We're going to use our smoke screen once again. We're going to keep reversing around to get all the guns to bear. Just give this thing the best opportunity it can to do as much damage as possible to these guys. The good news is, because it is AP, they don't heal much of it back. So your damage is going to stick to people more than, say, a Wichita or a Cleveland, unless, of course, you're like me and you fire AP out of the Cleveland. But if you're not firing HE at people like you can't in this, your damage is going to matter a lot more than the HE farmers out there. Yeah, they can put up 300,000 damage games. You'd be like, oh my god, this guy did amazing. And then it'll be a loss, where almost everybody on the enemy team was still alive. Now, here I just happened to notice out of the corner of my eye that this Bismarck was going for a ram here. So we're going to stop that right now. We're not going to allow him to go for the ram. We're not throwing away one of our teammates because of that. Especially on a guy who had no health left. So I think we bailed out our teammate there. We're up to 60,000 damage in our first kill. We're going to not chase the kite. You guys know what I say about kites. They are literally only effective if you chase them. If you chase them, you're literally making their game worth it. Okay? They're pulling you away from the actual battle. So I am going to go into A. We're going to start capturing A, and we are going to continue to shoot at the guy while we have the ability. But we are going to be making our way back across the map, because I don't know if you guys are noticing, but our team kind of is having a rough day over there. So we need to get over there to help. Now, our destroyer managed to kill their destroyer in the mid, which is huge. We destroy one of the Odin's torp tubes, which is also huge. We're going to, now that we're in the cap, we're going to move up to this secondary firing position, and we'll be able to shoot over the island some more at the Odin. But notice there's a cruiser right up ahead that's broadside. I should have been shooting at him at the moment, but didn't see him until it was too late. We are going to try to finish off the Odin here. You can see my shells at these distances. It's hard to hit the Odin. And then when we do hit him, we are getting some damage if we hit high enough onto him. But if we're hitting off to the side, we're just ricocheting everything. So not worth the time anymore. We're going to change our focus. And as you can see, I finally see the enemy cruiser over there. It's a choppy. And unfortunately, not going to be able to get a good shot off here, because I believe he disappears just as we get ready to fire. And no, I guess we do get the shot off. And the Chappie is a very easy target for this ship if it's broadside. Now we see the Udachi coming in. I look down, and our Kagero that's in the middle has lost all of his hit points. So he's not going to win this fight. So I throw this thing into full forward, and we're going to try to charge out here and help our Kagero. Unfortunately, I'm fairly confident you guys can already see where this is going. The Kagero is going to put up a valiant effort, but at the end of the day, he started with just too few hit points. We come around the corner, we get some shots, the guy throws it in reverse, and he's going to be able to finish off our Kagero before we can actually finish him. Now, we did some really bad RNG there, splashing on both sides of the Udachi. But if there's one thing that this thing can do really, really nastily, it is get rid of destroyers. The AP on this thing wrecks destroyers. And that is all the way through the line. If you've played any of the British light cruisers, you can see that the AP just, it absolutely wrecks destroyers. And so we're going to charge straight at him. We've got nothing to fear except his torpedoes, so we're going to charge straight at him. We've got our hydro running, and we're going to close the distance. The guy is clearly lost his mind. He knows I'm coming at him, and he is sitting in his smoke screen trying to capture Bravo. I admire his cojones, as I've said in the past, and people chuckle about that, but it is not going to be your best interest. And so we get him spotted, we shoot him, and most of his health disappears in the first salvo. And now it's time to queue up the torp beats, baby. Oh, don't over-rotate, Spartan. We're good. We're good. Oh my God, there's more. Okay, we finish him off, which is amazing. Now, can we limit to one? We got one. Okay, look how much damage it does, but look at that heal, baby. That is ouch. Hey, stop shooting me, okay? Okay, stop shooting me. Now, we need to get to this island as quickly as possible, because we're being shredded over the island by the battleships. And unfortunately, fortunately, we managed to survive, but unfortunately, we took a beating in the process. So what would have been a nice heal ended up being not necessarily as good a heal, because most of our health got taken away anyway after we started healing. Now, everybody that's left in this match is going to do their job. And that's something that's relatively missed nowadays. Now, I'm not going to lie. I knew the Chappie was here, and I was running my sonar, and I did not spot the ship that I'm about to run into. I'm going to get radared again, and I know it's not the Chappie, so I knew it was the Wichita. And in my head, Wichita is over at the other end of this island. And so when I get radared, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go out and I'll find this Wichita and I'll murder him, because I'm not afraid of a Wichita. Okay, he doesn't have torpedoes. His AP is garbage, and his HE, while it does hurt, if I can close the distance, isn't going to matter. He'll be dead before he has a chance to really do a whole lot. However, he's not around the next island. He's around the one that I'm right next to. And he's going to come around the corner. I dropped torps because I was ready to drop torps on the Chappie. And then I'm going to get the guns involved. And you giving me this much angle, that's going to be a wrap, sunshine. Now, we do manage to survive. you know, that's one thing that this thing is very good at. It is very, very good at surviving. Now, we just dumped our smoke. We do have 2 cap advantage. We have the lead. And so now all we got to do is hold it and we win. Now, our friendly battleship behind the island on the left side is trying everything in his power to stay alive. He does manage to take down the enemy Yami, which is huge. And so that leaves a Richelieu, a Massachusetts, and the Chappie. Now, I only have about half my hit points. I got another heal left, which is good. And I have 1 smoke, but I just burned my smoke like a complete goober. Thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. But, yeah, sometimes you just screw up, you know? That was one of them. Now, in 20 seconds, I'll be able to get another heal, but we don't have anything we can heal back at the moment. So, we're going to have to take some hits here if we're going to heal anything. But I have a pretty good feeling that this Chappie is thinking I'm going to come through the inside with that battleship. And unfortunately for him, I did not. And hello, Sunshine. Hold these. Pow! Half his hit points is gone in the first salvo. Let's see if we can't do better. Not quite. Only 1 Citadel that time. Now, we're afraid he's going to start using AP, but his guns aren't even in the right direction. This guy is screwed. And we managed to punch him in the mouth again, getting 3 Citadels. He drops his torps, but he's going to be dead before he even fires a single shot at us. It was actually beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We got 7 Citadels now in this game, and 115,000 damage, and there's still this Massachusetts and Richelieu out here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Spartan, didn't you say something about a mistake? Yeah, and it wasn't the Wichita, because that was a mistake, but I ended up getting away with that and doing pretty well. But, yeah, this ending could have gone very, very well for me if I had remembered what ship I'm in. And I'll explain as we get closer. Now, initially, I was thinking, okay, we have the lead, we have the ship advantage, all we got to do is nothing and we win. So I am going to try to do absolutely nothing and win, right? In my head, that's what I'm thinking. And I even get into chat and I'm like, hey, battleships, just so you know, we got the lead. We don't have to do anything stupid. These guys cannot beat us unless they kill us. All right? That's how they beat us. And so I'm trying to use the islands for cover, but at the same time, I'm expecting them to come out past the next island. So I'm hoping that we can spot them when they do. We do have a bit of a blanket there that we can spot them, hopefully, and they can't spot us. We've got a pretty decent surface detection of 10.3 kilometers in this thing. So I figure we'll probably be okay, and that's when I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and grab the 3rd base while I'm here. There's no sense in not grabbing it since I'm here, right? So we're going to go ahead and try to grab this 3rd base. We've already captured 2 bases, and that's when the Massachusetts come out, and he's either healed or he's used Will to rebuild to get a lot of his health back. Now, we get a shot off on him before we get behind the island, which is perfect. That means it's a free shot, but unfortunately, we're going to do 1 penetration, and that's it. So not the best here. Now, these guys are going to be coming in at us. They have no choice. And the hope is that they spread out enough that they don't get Will to rebuild. And we are going to get lucky that that's exactly what they do. This Massachusetts is going to outrun his Will to rebuild. And I'm expecting at this point, because I can launch between these islands, I'm like, dude, this guy's going to come straight in. We're going to be able to torp this guy. He's not even going to see them coming. It's going to be beautiful. And so I put the torps through the gap, absolutely begging for the greatest torp strike ever, close range on a Massachusetts. And unfortunately, it's like the guy knows. As soon as we got detected, he slammed on his brakes and he stopped cold. And so we get a good shot here at the Richelieu. And this is where I make my mistake. Richelieu cannot overmatch me, and neither can this Massachusetts. 16-inch guns cannot overmatch 32 millimeters of bow plating, which is what the Edinburgh has. I forget this sometimes, and so I'm used to my Baltimore and how if I go up against 16-inch guns, they literally just overmatch my bow and they wreck me. I also have torpedoes. Now, the Odin, in his credit, says, screw it, I'm going in. And he goes in and torps the Massachusetts, which is great. But if I'd have kept going past this island, I could have torped the Massachusetts and then been well on my way to torp this Richelieu. Because as you can see, we're not able to do much of anything to this Richelieu from this range. We're shooting at superstructure where we can. We get a penetration here and there. Occasionally we'll get a couple of penetrations, but we're really not getting anything damage-wise. So we're just kind of wasting our time. The good news is we're not going to lose this. There's only 30 seconds left. Even if this guy survives, at the end of the day, we've had a pretty solid game. Now, we're up to 128,000 damage. Are we going to break 130? Yep. Nope. Close. Almost 129,000. Come on, Edinburgh. You got this. That was not what I want. I shot at his guns there, thinking I could pin the side of his turrets and maybe knock him out, but we get a much better salvo that time, and that's what takes us over the 130,000 damage mark, which makes this, I believe, my best game ever in the Edinburgh. I've had some damage games, but I don't think I've ever had over 130 in this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, it was a nice dreadnought. Top the leaderboard, 3,500 base XP, 4 kills. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.